The girl locked herself inside the bathroom. No matter how hard her father tried to persuade her, she refused to come out. At night, she even slept in the bathtub, never leaving her baby's side for a moment. Time quietly passed, and the goslings grew day by day, their feathers slowly filling in. Jenny dressed herself to look like a mother bird, taking on the role and responsibility of a parent. During this time, her father gradually noticed that the goslings always stayed close to Jenny. He came to realize that geese belong to nature, and migration is written into their instincts. If they were raised like pets, it would go against the laws of nature and rob them of the freedom to soar through the sky. That was when an idea quietly took shape in his mind. Since the goslings followed Jenny so closely, with proper training, they could surely learn to follow his airplane as well. That way, he could guide them to a place rich in water and grass to spend the winter. And when spring returned the next year, the geese would follow the same route back home. Hearing this, Jenny felt reluctant, but she also understood the truth. The goslings had to grow up someday. For their future freedom in the sky, she agreed with her father's plan. Soon after, the father and daughter began training the goslings. At first, no matter how hard her father tried to guide them, the goslings showed no interest at all, not even bothering to look at him. But as time went on, they slowly grew used to the man who kept running around clumsily all day, and they began happily chasing after him. The first stage of training finally showed results. Once the goslings grew up and gained the ability to fly, the training entered the flight guidance phase. But trouble soon followed. On the ground, the goslings would still run after her father, but the moment he took off in the plane, they would stop in their tracks, standing perfectly still. Jenny believed it was because the goslings relied too much on her and didn't want to leave her side, so the next time the plane took off, she quickly hid herself in nearby bushes. However, the goslings were still able to find her without fail. The training looked perfect, but the result was the exact opposite. Her father was deeply discouraged. Just then, the roar of an engine suddenly filled the air. It turned out Jenny believed that only she could truly lead the goslings into the sky. So without telling her father, she took the plane and flew straight into the blue. Sure enough, just as she expected, when the goslings saw Jenny take off, they immediately flapped their wings and followed. But Jenny was still just a child, and her father had never let her touch the plane before. After a moment of panicked controls, the aircraft lost balance and crashed down. Her father rushed over in fear, and thankfully, Jenny was only shaken, with no serious injuries. In that moment, a long-lost warmth rose in Jenny's heart. The last barrier between father and daughter quietly disappeared. Although the flight ended in failure, her father saw hope in it. The goslings' trust in Jenny might be the key to completing the migration. He decided to build another small aircraft, letting the geese follow Jenny while Jenny followed him. To his surprise, when Jenny heard the idea in the attic, she happily agreed. However, Jenny was small and lightweight, and controlling a bulky aircraft was exhausting, so they needed a lighter, easier-to-handle plane. For his daughter's safety, her father sold a glider model he had treasured for many years. With that money, he custom-built a goose-shaped aircraft and personally taught Jenny how to turn,